Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Pyatt and welcome to my YouTube channel. My goal is to help as many martial artists as possible in their journey in studying Jiu-Jitsu, whether you are a complete beginner or an experienced martial artist. I do videos every Friday, so if you like and enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to get more just like it. This week we're going to start a new mini-series looking at a little section of the syllabus, looking at defences against uppercut. Now, uppercut is a really interesting technique because if somebody applies an uppercut against you, chances are that they're trained. Because natural instinct is not to come upwards in this moment, but natural instinct is to hammer and bash. You know, I've yet to see, a gorilla in the wild, fighting and one of them to turn and spiral the hips and come up with an uppercut. But I've seen plenty of them lifting and smashing. When a toddler, throws a tantrum, they bang their fist. That's the natural thing. So an uppercut is an interesting attack because it's a skilled person that usually applies it. It's also, because of the angle that it comes, very, very difficult to read. So you have to either intercept it very early, and you're always going to have a very short response or reaction time to it, which makes it extra difficult to cover. So sometimes the best thing is just to cover, move, and absorb. But there are a couple of strategies we can try. But I want to emphasise that most of these rely on a flinch response. So you have to react very, very quickly because, as well, this technique is very, very close range. So you need to act very swiftly to do it. You want to disbalance your opponent and not stick around for too long. So check out the first one, and then we'll do one each week. I'll put the links to the other videos at the end and in the description below. So if you've got any questions, don't forget to put them in the comments. Okay. So the first one that we're going to look at is just, it doesn't actually matter whether the uppercut is coming to the stomach or to the head, because obviously I don't know that at the outset of the technique. So I have to account for both options. So as the uppercut comes in, just to here, as an example, what we want to do is, as we see it, is we want to turn, right, to minimise the effect. If I take the punch, for example, just if it was coming into the stomach square on, it's going to have a lot more effect than if it's here and there's a risk of it glancing off, which is ideal. But I also need to be careful of it continuing on its journey up, right? So as we come, we cover and turn. So the position of the hands, this hand is cutting the centre line. So as it comes, this is here, and this hand is covering at the elbow. But I do the two together, so I can, if I'm sort of with my guard at this point, and I sort of see the development, I can intercept. But at the same time, I want to turn my hips. So as a basic technique, we start from neutral, and as it comes, we emphasise the turn. So I want to move, I want to get that habit. So if I'm at much closer range, I shift the moment I see it. Obviously, you want to develop that as well. So for example, if the hook punch comes first and I block, the moment I see it start to develop, the twitch, the preparation, that's what I'm really looking for. So because it's so short, I just have to train that response on 1, 2, okay? So once we've done that, we then carry on our technique. So just from the single uppercut, so we turn. From here, our left hand is going to come down, we're going to cover and come over into the face. We come up, take the hip, and we're just going to do Yimanagi, entering throw, but at very, very short range, okay? So we turn, 1, 2, up, and down. Now I can vary the footwork depending on my personal preference, but the important points are that I don't clothesline. So it's really important that I emphasise my hand going up and my left hand going down, so tension. So 1, 2. Repeat this. My left hand is going to go in at the hip at an angle to collapse my opponent. I can keep my position here and just drop, so I can move my hand to cover the arm, or I can step. The classical way of doing the technique would be to step, would be to break my opponent's back over the leg, or just slam it as hard as I can. For training, I obviously don't want to do that, so I just step and allow my opponent to land safely. So, as the uppercut comes, turn. So that's the important bit, to make sure that you're out of range. I can use this hand first and add my extra strikes that I wish, come up, and my little finger edge is coming over like a roller coaster. Straight down, okay? One more time. So turn the hips, how you finish in there is totally up to you. Just if I'm at sort of a guard, we're almost at this kind of range, we're sort of almost grappling, and I see it, I can let that drag hand pass it. So this hand, as well as turning, is also cutting. So if the punch just comes here, I can think of this feeling. If I had more time, I could be thinking of that coming straight round. But the reality is I'm probably not going to have time, so I'm just thinking of this intercept, but this angle, making sure that the uppercut misses. So if I'm even more around in front of my opponent and it sort of comes round to the side, I can wedge that into the arm and pass it low. So I've got this feeling first. So don't just turn. It isn't the same as this kind of motion. Think of coming in as you turn. So one more time, here, over, and then through. Okay, so that's just the first technique for a defence against an uppercut, and it's using that principle of the rimi, the principle of the turn, but remember, you have to have it as a flinch response. You're very unlikely to see an uppercut coming, so you know it is a response you want to train yourself to do very, very quickly, very, very rapidly, and there's a good element of luck in there, because if your opponent is good at disguising the technique, so if they're flowing their punching techniques and striking techniques through in a good sequence, you're not going to see the preparation, because the punch is going to come and it's going to be part of the previous technique and then it's going to come straight through. So that makes it difficult. But as a basic technique, we need something to work with. So this is our starting point, that pivoting, trying to get to the outside, trying to get to the best place possible. Because obviously the reality is we may not be there when we have to make do with what we get. But that's the starting point, so turn. And once you're at the outside, the technique's really up to you. So you can do any kind of striking technique, just continue with punches, continue with kicks, attack the knee, or inimanagi, which is the technique that we do. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please feel free to put comments down below and questions, and I'll do my best to answer as quickly as I can. You can check out more of our videos by clicking the link here, here, and here, and you can subscribe by clicking the button in the bottom corner. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next week.